Hello. Uh, hi. So it's been a long time. I had a couple of exams, but I really want to say a big thank you to the people who reach out to me on Instagram to ask me for questions. I didn't know that. I mean, I'm really happy that the video helped you guys, and well, I'm just happy I was able to help you. There was a couple of questions that was asked to me, and I thought that okay, these are questions I had myself when I first came here, so I might address it in a video and help other people as well. So it concerns rents and just a tip for advice. So if you want to come, uh, if you're lucky enough to be coming in January, this is the best time for you to come. If you're wondering if you want to come for fall or winter, I have another video talking about the different time coming to Canada. So you might check that out because I talk about different tips and tricks like if you come into fall, how you can save money, or if you come in winter, what are the things that are going to be more expensive, for example, which winter jacket and boots. However, this video is about rent, and coming in winter means cheaper rent. This is the period where rent is the least. So talking about rent, where to find an apartment or a room or a single or a sharing. If you don't know what a single, a sharing, an apartment, a suite, all these things are, I'll leave a video, I'll leave a link to a video down below when I explain what are these stuff and which one is which part of Barrie is actually the cheapest. North Barrie, South Barrie. So if you want to know all about that, check the link down below. So back to the rent. So I was one of the people who actually got a house before coming to Canada, which was very helpful for me when I applied for visa and all these things. So how did I do that? I look for Kijiji. Kijiji is a place, very, very, very common place where you have everything from furniture to babysitting, but very, very common for houses and room. So you have Kijiji. Another one is Facebook Marketplace. I know back in my country, I didn't have access to Facebook Marketplace, but don't worry, another place where you can find room is the Georgian International Facebook page. And even today I was on this page, or I just get notification because I'm in the group. There were rooms, like there were single rooms, there were sharing, there were like apartments. So again, if you don't know what it is, check that video. I explain everything about that. But yeah, so now once you've browsed and everything and you found the room or the roommate or whatever, I wouldn't advise going with roommate right now, especially that Barrie is in the gray area, which is lockdown. So social distancing, but I know some, it depends on you. I don't judge. It's just an advice and a recommendation. And I know not everyone, not all of us have the budget for one single room. So I understand. Anyway, once you find your roommate or the room that you like, I'd advise to contact directly either the landlord or that person. There's two ways of doing this. So, there's three ways actually. The first way you can contact Georgian, but that's another story which I'm going to tell you in a few seconds. But the easiest way to do stuff, and this is how I did it, but please, 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 please be very careful. So, one way is to contact the landlord directly. So you tell the landlord to send you some pictures, because if you're in Canada, you can visit. If you're not in Canada, ask to send pictures, ask to send videos so that you can see. And then I recommend signing a contract to make sure that that person is actually doing something okay, because you're not in Canada yet, and you don't want anyone to take advantage of you. So I would advise you to pay a deposit to secure your place, because everyone at this period, like some people are leaving, some people are having a job, some people are having a co-op, so everyone is moving and everyone is looking for something. So a way to secure your place, to make sure you have a place when you come here, is to give a deposit to the landlord or to the student. What I mean by to the student. So at times, for example, where I live, we have both student and non people who are not student. And at times, let's say there's a room that is here. So the landlord can be like, hey, you are a student at Georgian, so you might maybe one of your friends is looking for a room, stuff like that. So we recommend. So this is what I say, like, or at times what students do, they rent a whole house and then they sublease the room to different people. In this case, sometimes you'll have to deal with students, sometimes we'll have to deal with the landlord directly. But in both cases, you would want to have a contract. This is going to help you immensely because you're already you'll have to make a deposit to secure the room. When it comes to the deposit, you have to give money for first and last month. And this is where the questions came from. What is first and last month? There are different types of contract and there's different ways rent works in Canada. So to be secure and to make sure that they have renters for a certain period of time, we have different types of contract when it comes to rent. You have month to month, you have quarterly, you have like semester wise, and semester is 3 to 4 months, and then you have 1 year lease. So obviously 1 year lease is from 1 year, semester wise is 4 to 3 months depending on the semester. Month to month is that every month your contract is automatically renewed unless not said so. So when you pay the first until, let's take the example of, I'll take the easiest one, the month to month, and it is applied for all of them for the semester, for the year. So let's say, for example, I come in this house, let's say I pay $10 per month. So I have to pay actually $20. So I pay $10 for now, and then we are in December. So let's say I want to move in January. So I don't have to pay for the month of January because I've already paid for my last month. And very important, when you want to move, you have to get at least 30 to 60 days notice, depending on what is on the contract. But this comes with a tenant and law agreement, which I can talk about because I went into let's just say I had to deal with it, and I'm not here to badmouth anyone, but I can definitely give some advice here when it comes to that, because I don't want you to get screwed. I don't want you to get evicted. There are stories that has happened. I don't want that to happen to you. But basically, this is what first and last month is. So when it comes to month, so let's say if I have a month to month, so it ends on end of December, it's automatically renewed to January unless I said, hey, I want to move or whatsoever. But again, you have to give a notice. When it comes to semester wise and year wise, it's a little bit more difficult. Let's say, for example, I were to stay for 4 months, and then in the beginning of I stayed there for 2 months, and then I was like, I can't live there. I gave a notice to the landlord. It's a little bit more difficult to do that because you'll have to pay the rest. So let's say I pay $10 again, I'll have to pay $20 because instead of 4 months, I stayed 2 months. So it's $40. I already paid $20 for 2 months. I have to pay over $20. But there's a way around that. If you are able to find someone who's willing to take your lease, then you don't have to pay these 2 months. You're good. But it's kind of easy to find someone to take your lease, but you never know what can happen. So I always go for month to month. But at the same time, there are some landlords who are just like, I rather sorry for the word, cover my ass in case something happens. So they like to do a long-term contract. So basically, this is how things work. Another thing I learned as well, I've never been through it, but I just learned it, and please do your due diligence, but I'm just going to put it out there. Sometimes you can go through real estate agent, but when it comes to real estate agent, they ask you for 3 months in advance for your rent. They ask you to sign a contract. They ask you several things, like if you have a job, they ask for reference and stuff like that. So it's a good thing because it's a backup. They're doing their due diligence, but sometimes if you don't want to go around all of this, there's still good people, and you can always look on Kijiji, on Facebook Marketplace, or you can go on Georgian website. When it comes to Georgian, you can always contact them, and they can put you in contact with a Canadian family. So obviously you have to pay for them, but you will be with a Canadian family, and they're going to they're going to prepare food and breakfast depending on the contract that you have. So yeah, it was a little bit long video of 10 minutes, but I hope I was able to answer some of your questions. Please, if it's still blurry, do not hesitate to comment or to reach out to me. You know that I always reply to you. Sometimes I set call with you to be able to answer your question, and I'm very, very, very happy to do that. So please do not hesitate to reach out, and thank you so much for subscribing and share if you find this helpful. Bye.